Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is a UFC 140 post-fight recap with Standing Bear Thunderheart. And tonight, well, I just gotta say something that I gotta confess. Tonight, I went out to with along with Rainbow to because I honestly believe that the sports bars that I usually go to would normally have the fights. And the funny thing about it was, I went out there, and it turned out that all these different sports bars that I normally would go didn't not have any of these fights on. Didn't have any fight on tonight. In other words, at the last minute, somehow, in some weird way, they decided to cancel the event just to fill in some other event that I guess was paid or something like that for some weird family event. And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" Oh my goodness. So, and the people were not very happy about that. I mean, the ones that were going to the sports bar. And I mean, they should have just kept, the word. They should have kept their end of the deal and put on the event, but they decided to cancel it for some weird reason. And the trouble with me on my end too was the fact that I couldn't even call the people up that I would normally would talk to and so forth to find out where else they were gonna have the events and different places, because there were some that may have been played further places from where I was at in different other areas, but I couldn't not get a hold of a lot of people. I guess they went out and did their thing tonight and so forth. Well, of course, I had a laptop with me, and I ended up finding out the results, but it's just not the same as going to the event. And I really wanted to see this event, especially this, like a John Jones versus Lyoto Machida match. That was my dream match, and I wanted to see, not just report on it. I mean, yes, reporting on it is a great thing, and I want to be as accurate as I can. And at the same time, what really frustrated me was that I didn't get a chance to see all these great events that I read about, and just to see it while it's there happening is differently is different from just seeing it in a recording afterwards. So I just want to apologize that I can't necessarily deliver as best as I could tonight. It's going to be pretty short. Certain things happen in life where things don't go as planned, and I probably should have planned a little better. But at the same time, I decided I'm just still going to do this anyway because this is what I need to do, and I feel like I owe it to the MMA fans, and also to MMA as a sport, and to the fighters who work very hard to deliver what they do. So whether they win or lose, no matter what, I still feel like I need to call it out and then just say my opinion as best as I can. I did, like I said, I read some stuff, so I was able to have some. I can give you some semblance of informed. I can basically give you some more information on that and some of the fights that happened and some of my opinions on that. So, in any event, let's just get on to it. Mitch Clarke versus John Cholish, and the winner is John Cholish via TKO. I mean, a lot of people have been saying, I've been hearing a lot of talk that John Cholish was going to win this one. And, John Cholish didn't disappoint those that had faith in him. So, congratulations, John Cholish, on that. And, Rich Attonito versus Jack Hecht. And the winner is Jake Hecht via TKO. I heard he was going to win that one as well from other people, and he didn't disappoint. So, congratulations, Jake Hecht, on that. And Mark Bocek versus Nick Lentz, and the winner is Mark Bocek, unanimous decision. So, and I heard a little bit that it went to the ground and it was a ground battle and so forth, but it went to the decision. So, congratulations on that, Mark. And Yves Jabquin versus Walel Watson, and the winner is Yves Jabquin, split decision. I mean, of course, there were people that said that he was going to win this one too. Online and various other things, but a split decision, that's just barely making it. And this guy is really good. He's getting up there. He could be a little bit better. He could pick up the pace more. But his Muay Thai is definitely improving from what I've seen the last of his few fights. But in any event, so congratulations, Yves Jabquin, on that. And John Makdessi versus Dennis Hallman. And the winner is Dennis Hallman via submission with a rear naked choke. So, I heard from basically from what I read, that was pretty good, and it was what it is. And so he had a submission victory, rear naked choke. So congratulations, Dennis Hallman. He'll move up the ladder as soon as he can actually. Sorry. And let me see, Jared Hamman versus Constantinos Phillipou, and the winner is Constantinos Phillipou via a knockout. Like, that's really a surprise right there, because he's been doing so good for himself. He's been moving up the ranks, and I mean, what can I say? I mean, he had a good knockout victory from what I read and what that I got the feel of. So, and I had a feeling he was going to win this one. I don't know how he was going to win, but I knew he was going to win some way. So, and he won by a knockout, so that's convincing. So, congratulations on that. So, on to the next fight. All right, and Krzysztof Soszynski versus Igor Pokrajac. Actually, it's Pokrajac. Sorry, Pokrajac. And the winner is Igor Pokrajac via a KO, and I heard that was one of his best KOs that he's done in this career. So congratulations, Igor Pokrajac, on that against a very game Krzysztof Soszynski, and that guy's a very game guy. So to get a knockout of this guy like that, that's telling you something right there. So good job, Igor. Good job. And wow, this one I read about this, and I wish I would have seen it. Like I said, I wish I would have seen this thing myself when I saw this. I mean, and in this next one, Mark Hominick versus Chan Sung Hyung, and the winner is Chan Sung Hyung via a KO knockout victory within 7 seconds. What? 7-second knockout victory over Mark Hominick? I mean, the very same guy, Mark Hamman, I have to tell you, he was a #1 contender in his last fight against Jose Aldo for the featherweight championship, for the UFC featherweight. And I mean, he went to a 5-round war against Jose Aldo, and he didn't necessarily succeeded because Jose finally outpointed him and did most of the damage to the first 3 rounds and whatnot, and also, hurt him so badly that they gave him this huge, gigantic lump, nearly as big as a basketball. I mean, it's kind of like, and at that time, people made fun of him because he was having a baby, his girlfriend, his wife was having a baby, was actually pregnant, and many people were making fun of him that, well, I guess he got pregnant via his head too. And you know what? That's so sad. Every time I think about Mark Hominick right now, I mean, before all this, I started thinking of him as the big guy with a huge lump on his head, and I can't get past it because it reminds me of, I don't remember her name, the lady's name, but she was a South Park character that has a fetus on her head stuck that was undeveloped of her twin. It just got stuck in her head, and that's what it reminds me of so much. I hate to say this about Mark Hominick, poor guy. He reminds me so much of that nurse in South Park with a fetus on her head. I'm sorry. It just reminds me of, and now I have to now be reminded of Mark Hominick and beat in 7 seconds. Oh my goodness, that is not a good. That doesn't seem like a good look. Nor doesn't even sound good. So Mark Hominick, that's his 2nd loss in a row now since trying to get the featherweight championship. So he's gonna have to figure out a way how to do this. Normally, as in at times in other fights when I've seen in martial art battles, whether it's MMA or kickboxing or whatever, normally when I see people get knocked out in that short time frame, either one or two things are happening. Either number one, his concentration was really off and his mind wasn't in the game, or the mind was in the game and they probably got way overconfident and they had their hands down. I'm not, like I said, I didn't see it, so I didn't really see to make a judgment, but I can only guess and ask and actually just make an educated guess of what happened, because normally, like I said, all the different fights that I've seen, people have either kept their defenses down when that happens. So either which way, Chan Sung Hyung, congratulations on that awesome victory. You have just made another record of fastest knockout in UFC history. And Claude Patrick versus Brian Ebersole, and the winner is Brian Ebersole split decision. I actually expected Brian Ebersole personally to actually knock him out or submitted him, but I guess he just did well and more than enough, at least did enough to at least get a split decision. I didn't expect a split decision, so I'm a little surprised on that because he's such an excellent fighter with over 60 victory knockout been in the fights, and most of them had been victorious victories. So But nonetheless, it's a victory still, so it's a split decision. So congratulations on Brian Ebersole, still moving up. So good deal, good thing. And of course, Tito Ortiz versus Antonio Nogueira, or they call him Lil Nog, which which fits him well. And the winner is Antonio Nogueira via TKO. I mean, what's more to say? I mean, Tito Ortiz, I mean, he had his time and everything, but I think it may become about that time for him to retire. I mean, sure, he may still have some good years, or maybe even good couple years, I would say, but Tito Ortiz is just, I just don't think he has what it takes to really go against real big time competition like Rashad Evans or John Jones or Lyoto Machida and things like that. And so, in any event, we'll have to see what Tito does. But I mean, Tito doesn't really need to fight anymore. I mean, he thinks he does, but I think he's a good businessman enough that he can run many businesses on his own without really needing to fight anymore. So that's just my thing. That's just my view. I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. I mean, I've seen him in different lights and as a businessman and various other things, and I know he can do more and he can live beyond the fight world. So I know he may still want it, but he may have to rethink his priorities a little bit too, like Chuck Liddell had to once upon a time, or anybody else that is close to retirement had to do. So, anyways, though, Antonio Nogueira, congratulations. And the co-main event, Frank Mir versus Minotauro Nogueira 2, or they call him Big Nog, but I like Minotauro Nogueira better. And there's a rematch from 2008 fight when Frank Mir first knocked him out and won against Minotauro. And so, of course, the winner, again, is Frank Mir via submission with a Kimura. And come to think of it, of course, from my research that I've done, Minotauro Nogueira has, first of all, Frank Mir has not only knocked him out, has been the first one to knock Minotauro out, but also the first one to submit him as well. So congratulations, Frank Mir. I mean, now he's really showing something. And even though Minotauro is kind of like, his time is almost up in a sense, yet he still has some fight left in him. So don't count the man out just yet. At the same time, though, Frank Mir is he's just getting more solid in his game. He's just getting more solid in how he wins, how he strikes, and how he submits. And he's always been a great submission artist. But at the same time, on the feet, he's really great in the boxing and things like that. Now, if he can just learn how to kick well, oh my goodness, he'd really be something. So congratulations, Frank Mir, on that victory. And in the main event is, of course, features John Jones as light heavyweight champion defending against Lyoto Machida. And, of course, the winner and still UFC light heavyweight champion John Jones via a submission with a guillotine choke. Now, I don't necessarily recall actually seeing Lyoto Machida submit. Now, I would have seen it tonight if I was there and seen it, but in other words, I guess I don't have to see it and actually know that he applied it a certain way and he had him tapped out. I mean, this guy's really good with putting on chokes and putting on different techniques and different things like that. And so John Jones, and he did it in the second round too, so it did not last 3 rounds like I thought, or up to even 5 rounds like I thought. I knew this was going to be a style dream come true, a real martial artist dream come true, and I heard it deliver well. And not to mention John Jones got hit a few times, and so basically what happened is Lyoto Machida exposed some holes in John Jones's game, and now it's his defenses, because John Jones is used to really be on the offense and counter aggressive and actually aggressive defense, but never really defensive in that way. And so now John Jones now knows what he needs to work on, because Lyoto Machida gave him a great fight and gave him something to think about, whether other people that he has fought have not. So good job for John Jones for even picking that up and looking to what he needs to improve on. And good job, Lyoto Machida, for giving it a shot and making John Jones think what he needs to do to improve his game. So, damn, is it almost time already? Wow, I didn't think I was going to talk this long. I thought I was going to be very short. But in any event, I heard this was a pretty good event. Like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't deliver it the best that I would do so, but I thought I would just give it a shot anyway. I'm the type of guy that likes to keep his word and put it out there anyway. It's better than doing nothing, and I don't like to do nothing. I like to get some things done. That's how I am. So, in any event, I'd like to thank you guys for your support, and like I said, I'm apologizing for this once again. Hopefully things will be better next time, and it should be better by next event with Brock Lesnar versus Alistair Overeem. I've got to at least see that. So I'm going to check around and make sure that they're doing it this time, that they're going to be playing it this time. So, in the event, thank you everybody, and so I just want to, like I said, thank you all for your support, and I will talk to you later. Take care, everybody, and be safe. Healing, it is all that is.